Hi everyone. We are is right at 8:30. Yes. Hi Melissa. Hi Beth. We are just getting started, Beth Ann. We are just getting started. I don't like the song. I typically give everyone a few minutes to I give everyone a few minutes to get on. So we'll just give everyone a few minutes. I don't know what's happened to my Pandora. Let's go back to this. Hi guys. I had a window open. You scared the tar out of me. Sorry, Stephanie. I just can't find a station I really like right now. I like to have some music playing on in the background. Okay, we'll play that. We'll just have that playing there. Hi, ladies. Hey, ladies. Come on in. Got my to-do list here. Got everything. Make sure we got everything organized so we can go through this. And we're having another webinar tomorrow on the basics of selling online. It's going to be a two-parter, so we'll make sure you're back here tomorrow evening for that. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and click in. If you are here, tell me who's here. It looks like, I can't see how many people. 3 people are watching. So that probably is Stephanie, Melissa, and Beth Ann. So I'm so glad that you're here. I know there were several people that had some scheduling difficulties and stuff like that, and that's okay. The nice thing about these webinars is that they're recorded and that everyone can come back and watch them later at the time that's convenient for them. For me, the best time to do these is at 8:30 after my kiddos are in bed, because then I can focus and I can stay attentive to you. And yeah, so we'll give people a few more minutes. Did everybody have a good Sunday? I mean, you can see I've just basically got a shower and threw my hair up in a clip, because I was like, you know, I took a nice nap today. Hi, Carrie. Yay, so glad you're here. So typically on these webinars, I give everyone a few minutes to get on. So we'll get started in a few minutes. If you're watching this later, click the right arrow button, and that's how you fast forward through the video if you're ever needing to fast forward through me. I don't take offense to it if you need to fast forward. No offense taken. So I'm using my little microphone here. I'll go ahead and talk about this little microphone. I know, Stephanie, the nap was amazing. We came home from church, and we went ahead and gave the kids the bath, and then we put the girls down for nap like at 2:30. And I was like, you know what? Like, people were texting me about the 1920s thing, and I was like, I'm just going to unplug and take a nap. And I fell asleep, and we slept from 2:30 to 5, and it was awesome. It was awesome. And I don't allow myself to nap very often, especially during the week, because that's when I get work done. But I did. I napped with my husband. It was awesome. Hi, Holly. Hi, Jody. So glad that you're here. All right. Is that little background music, is that distracting, or do you like it? Let me know. I like to have some background music. I do have this little microphone on, so that should make it really easy to hear me. I wear this also. It just plugs into my my ear plugs thing, and I use it for my Periscope sales. Not my Periscope. I don't do Periscope anymore. I only do Facebook Live. But it helps make the sound hopefully pretty clear for you. All right, it's 8:34, so we're going to give it one more minute to give everyone a chance to get on. Like I said earlier, if you're watching this later, just hit the right arrow button, and that will fast forward to the part that we're going to get started. Okay, it's 8:35, so let's get started because we all have things to do. So first, I just want to welcome you. If you're watching this, it's probably because I am going to turn this music off because it's going to distract me. Okay, hold on, hold please. Love me some Sarah Bareilles. Okay. I'm so fancy. I am fancy. So if you're watching this, you're probably in the queue, or you're newer, or maybe you're a sponsor and you're a rock star and you're just getting some notes of how to help the other people in your team. My husband is walking around behind the camera, and he's grinning at me. All right, honey, I love you. Okay. So if you're new, I'm Christy Reed. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. I've been selling LuLaRoe for 2.5 years. And I was going to just kind of give some of y'all my story, especially since you're new. And if you're one of my directs, you may have already heard some of this stuff. But if you're part of my downline, I think it's always important for all of us to kind of know. My kid set up. Okay, got to stay focused. Stephanie, you got to stay focused. I think it's always important for you to kind of know everyone's story and to kind of understand too where LuLaRoe's come from and how much it's grown. So as you get into the company and understand there's growing pains, just know that I've been through all the growing pains, and I'm here to say that going through the growing pains, it was rough at the time, but looking back, I'm so glad that I stuck through it. And that I wasn't one of those people that just threw the towel in when things got a little bit rough, or when my calls weren't getting answered, or different things like that. So I'm Christy Reed. Like I said, I live in Nashville, Tennessee, 2.5 years as a consultant. I started in March of 2014, about 3 or 4 months before LuLaRoe's first birthday. So we were about 10. I think we were right at maybe 8 or 9 months old as a company. And I actually started selling in Huntsville, Alabama. When I started selling LuLaRoe, my best friend Brittany Comp, which is your upline, and if Brittany started in like October, and she called me at the end of October, and she was like, Christy, you have to sell this stuff. You just have to do it. You'd be awesome at it. And I was tutoring children out of my home. I'm a school teacher by trade. And so I told her, I was like, Brittany, I think this is wonderful for you. I will buy some clothes from you, but I am not interested in doing anything type of direct sales. I had tried another direct sales company in the past, and I was successful at booking parties, but once I got to the party, I was super awkward. I wasn't a good salesperson, and I just didn't do well with it. So I just wasn't interested in doing direct sales. And then when she told me how much it cost, I thought she was crazy. Thought she was crazy. I was like, what has my best friend gotten herself into? She's bonkers. So we Skyped because, like I said, I lived in Alabama, and I picked out a maxi skirt and a Nicole and a pair of leggings, and she mailed them to me. And I had my oldest daughter was right around 9 or 10 months old at the time, and I remember it was the first time I had put something on that I felt really pretty in. Just like most people do when they gain baby weight, they kind of lose some self-confidence, and I just didn't feel good about the way that I looked. I had started finally getting some baby weight off and feeling good about the way that I looked. So I found LuLaRoe. I fell in love with the clothes, kept wearing things. And the thing that was I was living at Huntsville all the time. You have to remember there was only probably about 150 consultants nationwide. So when I wore my LuLaRoe out, if someone stopped me, I'd be like, oh, this is LuLaRoe. My best friend sells it. Here's her information. And I kept getting stopped. And then finally, I kind of started thinking, I could be giving them my information. I kept getting stopped asking about, oh, where did you get that skirt? It's so pretty. And I kept giving them Brittany's information, and they would contact Brittany, and Brittany would get a sale. And I just, after, probably around January and February, I started thinking maybe I should do this too. And Brittany had already offered me the opportunity. I knew it was something I could do. I already knew what the investment was. And my husband, he was totally supportive. Jesse has always been supportive of me selling LuLaRoe, just because he knows my personality, and he saw how hard I worked on the direct sales company that I had worked with previously. It just wasn't the right fit for me. So living in Huntsville, we had not gotten involved in a church. I'd only taught 1 year before I had Kendall, and so I literally only had a list of probably about 40 teachers that I taught with in Huntsville to contact to start my business. And so what I did is I wrote up an email, and I got my old email list out from my old school, and I emailed every teacher. And I told Brittany, I said, if I can get 2 pop-ups booked before I buy my inventory, then I'm in, because anything can grow off of 2 pop-ups. And so I sent out this email to a list of teachers that I only had worked with 1 year. Some of them were friends, some of them not really. I only taught with them for a year, and part of that was on maternity leave because I had Kendall. So hi Erin, glad you're here. So I emailed, and 2 girls did book, and so I started, and it was awesome. Back then, it was a lot different. I didn't have to stay in the queue. for a while. And so to my why, so initially my why really was because I was staying at home and I wanted to make extra income, just like most of you. I was making about $600 a month tutoring out of my house. And I remember when I signed up, I told Brittany, I said, I have to make at least $500 a month doing this. Like, I just have to. And she just laughed. She goes, Christy, you're going to make that in a week. And I just thought, she has lost her mind. What is she talking about? $500 a week selling skirts? No. And now, you know, of course, I understand that I can do that in one night. But at the time, LuLaRoe was such a new and foreign idea to me that I could not even wrap my head around the possibilities of what could come from running this business and doing it successfully. So, so my why originally was just to help support my family. If you've ever seen my flip card video, which I think it's on our page, but if not, I lost my father at a young age, and so my mom was a single mom growing up, and she still is. And so for me to walk away from a career that I knew I could support me and my family if something happened to my husband was really hard. And so I was always looking for, and pretty much immediately after I stayed home, I was immediately looking for some type of way to make income, not necessarily because we needed it, but I needed it. I need to know that if something happened to Jesse tomorrow, that I could support my family and not be in a financial burden, that I could still support my family. And so LuLaRoe definitely has taken over in that sense. I don't have to worry at all if anything were to have, heaven forbid, happen, that that I could support my girls and we would be fine. So that was my initial why. And it slowly has evolved and changed. I think most of us that's been in the company for a while, your financial reason is always usually a financial reason or some type of gain. Like, I really needed to get out of the house. I was staying at home all the time. I dealt and I still do deal with a lot of mommy guilt about getting out of my house and not feeling bad about going and leaving my children, and especially staying home all day. I still deal with that. So LuLaRoe provides an outlet for me to get out of the house and for me not to feel guilty because I am doing something to better my family. But my why is actually turning into you guys. I miss the classroom so much, but I love doing the trainings. I love interacting with you all. I love helping you all build your business. And just because I know how much it's changed my family and our future, the future of my family, I think it's just so exciting to help other women find that same success and to help create an environment and a world where your dreams are coming true, dreams that you never even thought about dreaming because you thought it would be so idiotic to dream those things. You know what I'm saying? So, so you guys are you're turning into my why. I just really enjoy working with my team and building a team, and the teacher in me enjoys the training aspect of, you know, teaching you up the way that you need to go and then letting you go off and start your own teams and be successful. So we're going to go get started. Like I said, this is call is for the Quebees and the girls that have just onboarded. Usually I have quite a few girls in the queue and quite a few girls that are onboarding right now. And so this is usually something I would sit down, you know, at our kitchen table and we would do this together. But with so many of you, this is just the best way to get it done. So we will have question and answer time at the end. So have a little notepad and paper out if you have questions. Make sure you're thinking of those questions as we go. And I will try to answer questions that have been sent to me. I know Megan sent me some questions, and I have those here too. So I will make sure I answer those questions at the end of all my goodies. Okay, so the first thing is things that you have to have before you get your initial order. Now, some of this stuff is basic, some of this stuff, but at the same time, everyone needs to hear this stuff because not, you know, so I'm just going to go through my list. Things that you need to have before you get your initial order. You need to have hangers. You need to have storage bins. You need to have hanging racks. And you need to have business cards. And so I'm going to go to this document right here. I'm going to do my screen share. Okay, so we're on screen share now. And the amazing Holly Trice, who is on my downline, and she is now a consultant. She's officially onboarded. Y'all being in the queue for so long sometimes makes it really hard of how I usually would train girls. So she made this starting guide, and On this startup guide, it talks about the websites, which we'll talk about these right now. The websites, this is the first one you can see. This is the LuLaRoe Q list. This is where LuLaRoe Custom, and I'll put this document, I believe this document is already on our Lula Stars page under files, so you can get to this document. And then the promo store where you can get different things. The Lula Custom is where you can get your business cards. I'm just going to be honest. All of my stuff, my business cards, my return customer cards, all that stuff, and I'll talk about that here in a second. I get all that stuff from Vistaprint. I don't pay. I'm cheap. We already talked about that earlier, I think, on the page. And then Audrey, these are the websites that you need to know for Audrey. So here's a to-do list that you should start thinking about. These are all things that you can be doing while you're in the queue. I'm not going to read these over, but like I said, this will be posted and is posted on the Lula Stars page. But some things I do want to highlight is that you need to go ahead and be creating your business page and set up a Facebook group. It's up to you whether or not you do both of these. I personally started with a business page, and then I created a Facebook group probably about 6 months after I started selling LuLaRoe. The business page is a public page, so if someone's coming to look for you, they can look at your stuff without having to be a member of your group. And I have a link on my group that leads people to my shopping page. Some of this stuff, you need to make sure you have your business cards. So that's there for you to look at. Those are all just things that you can be gathering. But I did want to go over the, on here, there is the link, I think it is, the clothing rack link that I use, the racks that I get. So there's just links on here of different things that you can go, and you can get the hangers that I use. All those links are there. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing because I'm going to come back. Let me go to here. Okay. So I think we're done sharing now. So so you need to make sure what kind of hangers are you going to use. In that document, you can click on it, and I'll take you the hangers that I use. I use black velvet hangers from Amazon. All my business supplies I get from Amazon. My black velvet hangers I get at Amazon. My hanging racks I get from Amazon. The storage bins. That is something at the beginning I went and got 6 big tubs at Walmart, and they are finally starting to slowly fall apart. And that's why Stephanie so graciously went to, where did she go? What's that store? IKEA, and got me some of those blue Frittata bags, or whatever they're called. But do what works for you. Think about the size of your vehicle. Think about how you're going to store things in your vehicle. Think about the number of inventory that you have. I started with 6 big tubs. No, 8. I started with 8 big tubs, and then I have slowly just acquired more inventory since then. So just think about but really you need to think about how you're going to get them in your vehicle, because, sometimes you may need to think about how you're going to stack all your clothes, if you're going to put things in the back seat, what's going to fit easier in the back seat than if you're just putting things in a trunk. If you have a sedan, and you don't have a van or SUV, you may want to think more about the IKEA bags, because you can smush them down into your trunk more easily. There is a training webinar that is posted on the Lula Stars page, and it's one that was done by Brittany Comp and Laura Lick, who is a part of our big team out in California, and she did a great training about how she stores all of her inventory and how she takes it from pop-ups and parties and things like that. So I'm not going to talk a lot about that, because that is a great resource for you to go and watch and get the ideas that you need about how to store your inventory. So hangers, hanging racks, storage bins, and business cards. Business cards is something I get on Vistaprint. So those are things that you need to have ordered and ready when your inventory gets to you. There are so many other things that you can do that are on that list, but those are the 4 main things you need to have in your house when your inventory gets to you. So write that down. When you get your initial inventory, LuLaRoe is going to send you a startup kit, and it's really, really cute. And I have parts of it. I don't have all of it, but I thought I would show you. It's going to come, at least, unless it's changed. Now, I'll tell you, When I started, I got 112 maxi skirts in one big brown box and nothing else. Not a letter, not a this is what you do. This is not a welcome letter, nothing. A box of 112 maxi skirts. So this little box to me is just the cutest thing in the world. Okay, so you get this little box, and it comes with all these little goodies in it. Yes, yeah, Vistaprint's wonderful. It comes with these brochures. Now, these are things that you can order individually off of the promo store, but you're going to get some of these, so don't order anything until you get your stuff. So this is something you can give a hostess. It says, now you're hosting a pop-up what? They send you a thing of those brochures. They'll send you a packet of these Join the Movement booklets. And this is something great. Like, I actually have quite a few of these that I order, and I just keep at my house. So if someone asks about information, I can stick it in this book, and it's just something physical for them to look at, and it's really pretty. But you'll get a packet of these. I think you get like 10 of these in your box. You get some thank you cards. You get your dream book, and this is a great book to sit down and kind of thinking about your goals, thinking about your 72-hour game plan, thinking about 5 actions you're going to do to commit to your goals. All of those types of fun. It's just a fun book for you to sit down and think about how you're going to structure your business and how you're going to get started. Some info about the promo shop. A product guide. This is great if you're newer to LuLaRoe. Maybe you don't own all the pieces, or maybe you want to help people have a better idea of the pieces that you're going to carry. It just basically is pictures of the pieces and then that description, but it's just a nice visual guide to kind of have out. You know, you can even have this out at the table at checkout where people can look and see the different styles. One of the things, does the box come with the inventory or in a separate shipment? It should come with your inventory, or it may come in a separate shipment. Carrie, I honestly don't know because I did not get one when I signed up. I want to say when Holly signed up, it came in her box. It just came in her box with her inventory. And then it comes with these cute little things like this. Ask me how to earn free clothes. And you could put these, you know, in a plate, like a little plate holder, or you could put these in a picture frame. All these cute things. You can, nice card stock. You can get them laminated if you want to. The 72-hour game plan is in there, which we did a webinar on last week. Make sure you're doing the 72-hour game plan. Then it comes with this really fancy, now mine's old, but yours would say 2016. It comes with this really fancy planner with these awesome calendars and all this nice stuff you can take to parties to book. What else is in here? Let's see. Some invitations are in here. And then it's just some good, you know, some good paperwork. Some of this stuff, if you're my direct, I've already sent this stuff to you. Like, this is the partnership matrix, what you can expect from LuLaRoe, what you can expect from your sponsor, and so forth. And then it gives you a tab of like email list. And then it gives you some descriptions of the different types of fabrics. So you can kind of help people understand how to care for the product and to do all those things. So that's the startup kit. If you got a startup kit and you got things that weren't, oh good, I'm so glad you bought some frames. I used to carry my stuff all in frames, and then I kept breaking stuff, so I just kind of stopped doing all that. But that's a great idea. Get frames. It's really cute to have a good presentation at checkout. Okay, so I'll put that to the side so that you will get a nice, cute startup kit that kind of just gets you started and has some cute little things in there that you can use, especially for your email list and things like that. So the big thing is we're going to talk about what you need to have when you go to a pop-up, and then we're going to go through Audrey. Okay, so the first thing is that when I do a pop-up at someone's house, now online's totally different, and I would encourage you when you're thinking about online versus home parties, most people that have successful home or online businesses in LuLaRoe, I say most because, you know, it's not, I'm generalizing here. Most people that have successful online businesses in LuLaRoe have had a large startup with home parties, because most of the people that even shop for me now, either they know someone that knew me, they found me through someone that found me at a home pop-up. So the home pop-ups are, one, the base of what our company was started on. It's the most bang for your buck. You're going to get in, you're going to get out, and you're going to make your sales. But online is a great avenue too. I mean, like I had a great online sale this week and I didn't have to leave my house. And but just know that at the beginning, I would encourage you not to look, first off, don't do the comparison game. You start with your 72-hour game and get started that way. But I would really encourage you to focus on the home parties first, build that online following and have that online group. And so when you do a pop-up, you can say, oh, I'm so excited that you shopped with me today. Here's my business card. This is my Facebook group. The next time I'm posting online is July 21st. If you are interested, make sure to come and check out my new inventory there. But that way you're building your group that way while you're doing home pop-ups. So you can just focus on home pop-ups first while you're building your online business, because the online side of LuLaRoe is going to take a little bit longer, just because there's a lot of groups on Facebook. And if your friends are unfamiliar with LuLaRoe, the shopping online is going to take some time for them to learn how to do it, to feel comfortable shop online and those types of things. When I do a home pop-up, I have some things I definitely take with me. I have my clipboard with my email list. Now, you got a cute little one in your startup kit. I never got that, so this is just the one that I've always used. One little tip that I always do is I always have, you can see at the top here, Lucy Wheeler, and it's just like a name, and it has circled yes, that I want to host a pop-up. That's at the top of every single one of my email lists, and it's a dog's name, actually. It's one of my best friend's dog's names, and I just think that it helps to have the first one circled yes, because then people afterwards, look at these people afterwards like, well, sure, I want to do one. Well, sure, I want to do one. Well, sure. It's just kind of creates it like, well, if someone else is doing it, then I can do it too. I mean, it must not be that hard. So, so I always have my email list. Then, and I talked about that in the 72-hour game plan. Then the other thing that I always have is my checkout sheets. And my checkout sheet looks like, do I not have one? I don't have one on this clipboard. I have it right here. Oh, please. And my checkout sheet looks like this. Now, I use Audrey, and we're going to go over Audrey in just a second. But my checkout sheet looks like this. And basically, when someone comes to check out with me, I put their name, and then I put down what they buy, and then I put the size next to it. So after the pop-up, I can go into Audrey and reorder the sizes that were sold. Okay? This is also how I do my bookkeeping at the end of a party, which we're going to go into in just a second. But this is the checkout sheet that I have. So I take that with me. I take my email list with me, and I always have my calendar with me. Now, I don't have that big LuLaRoe calendar, mostly because I didn't get one for free, and so I already had this little calendar that I use, and it works nicely for me. And so I just always have my calendar with me, and so I have it set out like this at a table. So if someone acts like they're interested in hosting a pop-up, I open it up, and I make it very obvious that my time is valuable and that this is making an appointment with me. And so if you want to book, we need to get it down right now. But I don't ever just say, would you like to host a pop-up? What works for you? No, don't make it open-ended like that. One, because most of us are so busy. If you looked at me right now and said, I really would love for you to come to my house and to blah, 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 blah. When can you do that? I'd be like, I honestly have no idea. I'm getting ready for convention. I've got these webinars I'm doing. I've got an online sale going. I've got to get my hostess packets ready. I've got to go to the grocery store before I go to California. I've got to finish my laundry. The list goes on and on for all of us. But if you looked at me and said, hey, I really would love for you to come to my house on Tuesday, July 29th and sit down with me and talk about this. Would you like to do that? I can look at my calendar and see what I have going on that day and either say yes or no. And that is why it's the best. I think that's one of the reasons why I've never really, not one of the only reasons, but that's the way I've always worked my calendar. I've always said, these are the dates I have available. Let me know which one you would like. And then if they come back to me and say, well, I've got baseball on Mondays, I'll say, that's fine. Let me look at these dates. I just don't like to be home more than this many nights a week. So they understand that I am willing to work with them for finding a date. But once they see that I'm going to give them specific dates, they're usually more likely to come back with a date if they truly want to have a pop-up with me. So don't go to a party with an empty calendar. You should always have it filled in, even if it's GS for grocery store. When you look at my, like when I look at my calendar here, I've got dance written down on my calendar. I've got stuff that I'm doing with you guys written down on the calendar. I've got people's birthdays. I've got initials for different meetings that I have. So when people look at my calendar, they know that I'm busy and that they're making an appointment with me and that it's something that they want to get on my calendar because everyone else is. And don't ever apologize. And this is going to 72-hour game plan, so I'm going to stay focused on what we're talking about here. So to a pop-up, I bring my calendar, I bring my email list, I bring my checkout sheet, and then I bring my money bag. Okay? And some of this is really basic stuff, but it's stuff that you need to think about and you need to have ready for when you're doing your home pop-ups. In my money bag, I have pens and pencils because I don't like to write in my calendar without, I like to write in my calendar in a pencil. Oh, I have these. This is something else you get in your startup kit. These are little like organizers to put on your hanging racks to show what the style is. And I use a dry erase marker and write the price on my style so I can keep them, so people, when they're looking through my clothes, they can see what the prices are. I don't do a price board. I just put these out on the hanging racks. And that way people can see what they, what the item costs. Sometimes I don't even put the price out. It creates discussion, and so I don't always put the price out for people to see. I always have my business cards. These are what my business cards look like. And then I just did that on the back. I've got my little picture there and all my information, and I just made these on Vistaprint. And then I got my cash. I started with probably about $30 I started with about $30. Make sure you've got plenty of 1s and 5s and 10s. And then I always have, heaven forbid, Audrey isn't working. I do always have a backup. And I always have my square reader in here in case I need a backup. Sometimes you may get to a party and their internet's not working. Sometimes you may get to a party and they decided to do an Audrey update and you need a way to use your credit card. This is just a backup. It is not something that I use very much at all, but it is something that I do keep in my bag just in case I need it. I mean, it's like you're keeping a tampon in your purse. Let's be real, okay? You don't always use it, but just in case, you always have it in your purse just in case something happens that you're not expecting, okay? So that's what I always take to pop-ups with me. I'm going to stop and see if there's any questions about the stuff I've talked about so far. Do you have any questions so far about the things that we've talked about? Hopefully this is good information, good things that you're thinking about. Okay, good. So we'll keep going. Now I'm going to get started. I'm going to talk about Audrey. So I'm going to actually do a screen share, and we're going to go over how to use Audrey, the different parts of Audrey. What was that tea? What was that tea? Oh, it's water. I'm drinking water. Okay, so we're going to go, I'm going to screen share, and we're going to go to Audrey. And so this is how, especially if you're one of, how many Facebook groups do you have? Jody, I have little computer thing. What was that T? Melissa, I don't know, little computer thing. I don't know what you're talking about. Jody, I have my private Facebook group, and then I have my business page. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go here. So we're sharing. Now, I do want to show you something, because when I come here, if you're ever having problems going into Audrey, I don't ever type in www. I do straight mylularoe.com. If you notice, when you go to the browser, there's no www. So if you're ever typing www.mylularoe.com, it's not going to take you probably to the place that you need to go. So just be mindful of that and make sure you're not typing in www. I don't know why, but it's just the way it is. Okay, so now this is where I'm logged in. You can see this is all what you should see on your screen. So when you come in, it should say welcome, whatever your name is. And we're just going to go through basically this stuff up here. This media doesn't work right now. We have that box that we're using, which there's a link on the Lula Stars page of all of the graphics that you need. Make sure you can just Google, or you can just use the search bar at the top of Lula Stars and look for assets, and it will lead you to where you can get all the fun different pictures and things like that you may want to use. Pay balance, that doesn't apply anymore. That's not used. Assets, it's not working right now, I don't think, because they've changed. Oh, it is working. Okay, look. So this is where you can go. So, okay, I'll back up so you can see. So click on Assets. Click on Lularoe Tools and Assets. And then, so you got a lot of fun different things here. Business card templates. This is where you can go and you can download the front and the back of the business card and make it whatever you like. This is the one I have right here, and you just download it. So lots of different fun things. When you start making your pop-ups, there's invites in here, pop-up invites. You know, oh, there's some new ones in here I need to download. Look how cute that is. I need to download that. I haven't came in, and they're constantly adding new stuff to this. I need, look, online pop-up. I didn't even know they had these. So even after you download some of the things that you have, I encourage you to come back and just continually to download them, because they'll move old stuff out and bring new stuff in. And then you're just going to have a lot of new, or a lot of options to choose from. The calendars that you see me post online, those are on here as well. Where are the calendars? Opportunity graphics, Mommy and Me, calendar spreads. So you can download the calendars that you want. You know, here's July, and then you can take it to PicMonkey and you can create that, which that's a whole nother webinar. But this is where you will get all of those assets and pictures and things you see us posting on social media. That's where you're going to go to get those files. Oh, what's this? Account box. I don't want that. Oh, please. Let's see. I don't want that. I just want to get back to, what have I done? Okay, so that's where you get to theirs. Assets right here. And then custom consultant support. This is where if you are, you know, have a question, you can go in and you can log in this way to the support portal. And you'll have to create, you can create a new ticket, you can check on a ticket status, or you can look down, so you can check your ticket status. And so like right here, I can see where I have turned in some of y'all's paperwork for onboarding. I don't have any other tickets, but you can see what the process is on them. And that is where you go and you create a ticket to get help with Lularoe. If you've already had the experience of calling home office, you know that there are wait times on consultant support. So this is a way that if it's something simple that you can send in and be like, hey, I just have a question, or, you know, I'm missing, you know, 5 Irmas from my order, start a ticket and send it in rather than sit on the phone for 45 minutes. And if you don't hear anything or, you know, get a response back in the next few days, then you can call in. But I would not sit on the phone for 45 minutes if I didn't have to. Okay. So then I'm going to keep going. I can't see your questions, so I'm just going to keep going and talk about these things on Audrey, and then we'll come back and answer questions at the end, because I can only see Audrey right now on my screen. So to the left, we have the dashboard, which is just basically what you see here. And then we have reports. Sales is going to cover, this is just kind of shows what you sold each day and what was paid for each day. So you can go and get your monthly totals that way. Then it has my orders. This is where you can go through and you can see where the orders that you've already packed, the orders that you've made through Audrey. If this little pink printer is on right here, that means they've printed your order. It does not mean that it's shipped. It means it's printed. And if you ever need to look back and see what you ordered, you can look and click on it that way. The next part of the reports is payments. This is what it's just another view of you being able to see what has been paid to you and the amount. So this is payments to me. So right now I have, this was my total sales, and this right here is the amount that's going to be dropped into my box. So when I check on my, so the processing fee, that's something that you'll get a report at the end of the year from LuLaRoe showing how much you can put, how much your processing fees were for the year, because that's tax deductible. And then this is the sales tax that they took out of my orders. And then this is how much money will be dropped into my checking account within 2 to 3 business days. So that's payments. And then paid invoices. This just shows each individual invoice that's paid. But I don't ever use that one. I use this one. This is when you, you do any type of receipt for something. So if someone pays cash, like this girl right here, she picked the leggings for my house, so she paid cash. So I can resend her a receipt if I need to. This girl right here, this is someone that bought something online for me, and so I sent her an invoice and she paid with a card. It looks like all my invoices have been paid. I was going to see if, okay, so this one right here, this is the invoice that I've sent, and she's going to pick it up at the house tomorrow, so she hasn't paid online. I can resend the invoice and it'll give her an email reminder, or I can delete it. So that's what it looks like if they haven't paid their invoice, and it's blue if they have paid it, and it would say just resend receipt. And if they haven't paid it, it will be pink with these options here on the side. But this is the screen where you need to go when you're doing online sales to compare back and forth to make sure people are paying their invoices. So that's reports. Announcements, they don't ever do anything on announcements. Company events, nothing's ever really listed there. Contacts, I don't use contacts. It's not really a function that works. Know that Audrey's a little bit over a year old, so there's a lot of functions on Audrey that still don't have a lot of functionality yet. But once the longer they get everything working and get all the kinks out, they will go and focus on those little bitty ideas that they think would be nice to use that they just don't use yet. Inventory is the next big area you're going to use. All inventory, you don't have old inventory, so everything will be in all inventory. You can click on that. And this is where you can click on things and you can change your quantity. If you need to change the quantity of something, you can change the quantity there and then update your warehouse. If you don't have items in that size or style, it won't let you check people out. So you need to make sure that you have your inventory in there. So that's how you just go to all inventory, click on what you're needing to use, and then click on the little pencil to edit it. I will note and tell you that eventually everything will be using those barcodes, but right now everything's ran through Irma extra small other. The OTH is what everything's ran through. So don't worry about the striped, but everything that runs through Audrey is the OTH. That's just automatically how it's ran through. Product pricing, if you need to change the price of something, you go to your product pricing, and then you're going to click on whatever you're wanting to change. But say like you want to change a classic. Computer's being a little sluggish. Say you want to change a classic, just do it up here and then find the size that you want. Click on the pink area right here, and then you can just change that price at whatever you want it to be. Remember, if you're selling online, it needs to be MAP for sure. And if you're selling at home parties, it needs to be within the suggested retail price. And I'm not going to change my price. I'm just going to go there. Okay, the next thing of inventory is new inventory. And this is if you're wanting to add inventory into your into it. So, like, say you're wanting to add the shipping choice. You can come down here and you can add the shipping choices. Shipping and handling, you can add that to your inventory. Add the quantity so you can bring those people up that way, and then click Add Inventory. And then the last thing is the purchase inventory. This is how you make an order for LuLaRoe. The expedited shipping is listed there. This means, it does not mean that they still have 4 to 5 business days to get your shipment out of the warehouse, but this is the way that they're going to ship it, whether they're going to ship it 3-day or they're going to ship it ground UPS. I personally never pay for the 3-day shipping. I hear in Tennessee it takes about a full week once it leaves the warehouse to get to you. So that's just something you always need to keep in mind when you're thinking about ordering inventory, how long it takes for it to get to you. And so to make an order, you're just going to click on the things that you want. Remember, your order has to be at least 33 pieces. I'm at 33 pieces yet. No. I'll just do this real fast. Once you get 33 pieces, then you can click on checkout. And then you have 2 different choices of when you check out. You can pay with your credit card information, or you can pay with your bank card information that you already, or your checking account, which you already gave LuLaRoe that information. But you may, mine's saved in there, and I don't want to make this order, so I'm not going to do anything. But you can pay with your banking account straight from your checking account, or pay with a credit card. And then you'll get a notification email immediately if that is something that you decide once you submit that order. Pop-up boutiques, I don't really ever use this feature. Don't use that feature. Sales, you go through a new sales. So this is, and we're going to go over the app here in a second as well, but this is what you're looking at if you're looking at the desktop of Audrey when you're pulling a sale. And so I'm just going to do, a quick little here. If this were an online sale, I would go and pull shipping, priority or first class, and then I would come over here. And so their order is $54.63. Say I'm giving them 10% off, 10% off something. So we'll just say it's going to be $2.50, whatever they bought. So that is how you give them a discount. You click on the discount, you give it to them, and then when you get to the checkout screen, you'll see their discount is right here. And so it'll show, what they bought, their discount, the tax, their total, and what their balance is. Then you have 3 different choices from the desktop. You cannot send an invoice through the app. You can only send an invoice through the desktop. So if you're doing a home pop-up, they can pay with a credit card or do a cash sale. A credit card, you're going to have fill in all this information. All this information has to be filled in for it to completely clear and go through. And people, when I'm checking people out, I just tell them, I need, what's the Billing Street address for this card? Because you're holding their credit card. So I just say, what's the Billing Street address for this card? You're not going to sign for it. That's how they verify that it's you. And I've never had anyone ever complain to me about it. So that's if they're doing a credit card. If they're using a cash or a check, you just get their first and last name and their email. You don't have to put information in all these for this to go through. You can just put their first name and put their email address. You can type a little thank you note there. And then if you're sending an invoice, you just need their first and last name and the email that you want the invoice sent to, and then you can put a message here. So that's how you run a sale through Audrey. The site, each of us have our own little sites. This is something that people can contact us if they need to. I've never been contacted by anyone doing this. It's not really a functioning site or part of Audrey yet, but eventually it will be. And this is where you can go to your team if you're someone that is sponsoring someone, or if you give someone your link. These things really aren't, these first 3 really aren't working right now. They are slow and they're not completely updating the way they need to. So, but if you send someone your link, you go to Team Tree, and then it will bring up all of your directs that you have given your link to. If someone has filled out your link, you will see their name listed here. If you do not see their name listed here, then they did not fill out your link. So that's kind of a good indicator of whether or not they filled out your link. I always have people fill out my link first before I do anything else, just to make sure that they are joining my team and not someone else's, basically. So, and then this is a way too, if your girls that are signing up with you need their ID numbers, you can just scan over it that way, and that number up at the top is how you can get their consultant ID number if they need it. So that's the team. And then this is all the different types of things here. But this part, so this is the tools and assets is another way to get to it. It's just a different look, and some of it's still not as functional. So this etiquette document, I don't know if we can even do anything with this anymore. So you can just download some different documents. These are all things, if you're one of my directs, I've already emailed you. I've emailed you the etiquette document. I've emailed you the independent consultant agreement already. But these are some things if you need access to some different things as you start building your team. You can start looking at some different things this way. And just know, always check the date, because sometimes these things are out of date, and there may be a newer document out there that you are not aware of. So that's Audrey. Let me come back here. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to come back here. Are we still here? Thank y'all so much for hanging with me. Okay, let's see what questions we have. How many Facebook groups do I have? I have one VIP group that everyone shops out of, and then I have my business page. So I have one shopping group and one business page. What was that little computer plug-in that you bring to pop-ups? Oh, that is this thing that I was talking about, like, it's just in case of emergencies if Audrey isn't working. This is called a Square. Go to square.com. These are free, and you just start an account with square.com, and they do an app on your computer. You can do an app on your phone, and this just plugs into your phone like this, and it's a scanner, and so you just use the app that way. But this is my backup, and I just keep it, but it just goes straight into my phone like that. You've probably seen these at like vendor events and things like that. Yeah, square.com. For the calendar, how do you edit in Audrey? Can you do that there? For the calendar things that you see us making, you download the calendar and then you go to picmonkey.com, PICMONKEY.com. That'll be another, I'll write that down. That'll be another thing that I show on another webinar. I'm not going to do that on this one necessarily, just because it's already 9:23. So, but picmonkey.com, if you haven't checked it out, that's how I do all of my invites. That's how I do all of my calendars, and it's free. It's a free version. The Tall and Handsome is the font I use the most of. And if you go to the top of Lula Stars and the little microphone, not the microphone, and the little magnifying glass, if you click in like LuLaRoe colors or PicMonkey, you'll see some different posts that I've made throughout the years of explaining how to use PicMonkey or the colors that are LuLaRoe approved in PicMonkey. Can you tell how to set sales tax? I know Tennessee is 9.25, 9.75. Mine is 9.75 here too, Carrie. I'm in Hendersonville. It does it automatically based on your address, so you don't have to worry about that. My sales tax is always going to be 9.75 regardless of where I go because of my address in Audrey. I know when you set up the sales tax, it asks for zip code. This is where mine would not be the same as my state sales tax. Yeah, just as long as your address is correct in Audrey, that's the sales tax you're going to be charged. Your customers are going to be charged, and that's what LuLaRoe is going to pay on your behalf. You don't have to worry anything about sales tax. LuLaRoe is going to take care of that for you. When I first started, before Audrey was invented, I had to have my own sales tax ID. I had to have my own business license. I had to do all that myself. and turn it into the state monthly. LuLaRoe does all that for us. Yes, in the app, yes, in the app for Audrey. And I'm actually going to take my mic off and I'm going to go get the app so we can look at the app together. I was charging my iPad because it was dead. Hold on just a second. Okay, so, and I hope this works. Can you see my screen okay? Do you think this is going to work? Okay, so if you, Audrey is not available on Android. And my family is an Android PC user. Okay, so this is the only Apple product we have in our house. And, okay, good. I would tell you that if you're not ready to invest in an Apple product or an iPad, don't. Just wait. I waited a year. And what I would do is I would actually take my husband's tablet, or I would take my laptop with me and just set my laptop up on the kitchen table and check people out using the back office. And honestly, I think the back office works so much better than the app. But you don't have to have an Apple product. You don't have to use the app. You can totally use the computer and check people out at a party, because I did it for over a year. Making sure no one's texting me questions. Okay, so you can go to the Apple Store and you can download LuLaRoe. And so when you get on your home screen, this is what it's going to look like. I'm just going to not worry about seeing my face. So this is what it's going to look like. And this is just the screen that's going to come up, and it's going to show all of your inventory. In the corner, it's going to show how many you have of that inventory. Underneath is going to be the prices. And so when someone comes to check out, you're just going to click. So let's say this person's getting a perfect. I'm going to click a size, which I can't really see what I'm doing. Okay, so you see it came down here in the chart, the cart. Now let's do another piece. I don't even know what that is. And that must be leggings. Okay, so now I'm going to go down to the cart. And I'm going to click on the cart. Then it's going to take you to this next screen. And it's going to, can y'all still see? So it's going to take you to this next screen. Okay. Then it's going to show you at the top, it just shows you basically like what the quantity is over here on the right, and then the pieces that you picked. Now, if you need to change, there's no discount on Audrey. There's no discount button like where you just click and say $5 off. You have to do the math and you have to do it yourself. So what I would tell you is that, so how you do that, say you're going to give them $5 off, you're going to left swipe this way. So when you left swipe, you see it says more and remove. You're going to click on more. And then it's going to give you the option of change quantity or change price. So say you need to change the quantity, add one, take one away, whatever you need to do. But this is where if you're going to give them a discount, you're going to change the price of the item. So you can just change it there. So let's say we're giving them $5 off, so it's going to make their perfect 31, right? And then you would just click change, and then that would give them the discount that you offered them. If you're giving them 10% off, you have to do the math that way. So whatever you're going to do. Then at the top, it's at the bottom, when you're ready to check out, you click checkout. Okay, and this is where you're going to make it whether or not they're paying with cash or card or check. If they're paying with a credit card, you have to fill out all this information at the top, just like you do online. You have to fill out their address that goes with the card, because that verifies the card. Don't leave. And 9 times out of 10, and people don't like to hear this. I live in North Carolina. Okay, good. Yeah, your tax will change. When you're selling online, whoever the public is, I don't know who that is. When you're selling online, it will be based on where your address is in Audrey. But when you're selling in the app, you can change your sales tax based on where you're at. Okay, so on here, what I was saying is 9 times out of 10, if the app isn't working, it's human error. It's not Audrey. One of the things that I have found too, and someone was talking about this, when you go into a home pop-up, when you go into a new place and you hook up to someone else's internet, restart your iPad. I have found that if I don't do that, then Audrey won't work, and I can't even log into Audrey. So, and it declines cards, like it just declines everything. It doesn't work. So when you go into a home, write that down and make sure that you do that. When you go into a home pop-up and you're clicking onto someone else's internet, you just restart your iPad and then log into Audrey, and then you should be fine. So you fill out all the information at the top. You fill out the card information. There is this choice where you can click on the camera and you can take a picture of it, and then you just click pay after you fill it in. Now, if someone's paying cash, you just need an email and you need a first and last name, and then you come down here where it says credit card, right here, and then you're going to swipe. Hold on, it's hard doing it, not facing it. You go to the credit card. I was trying to make it not clear. See how I swiped across and it says remove. So if someone's paying cash or check, I just click remove, and then I put the amount right here for the exact amount. It won't give you change. You're going to have to put the exact amount here, and then you can hit pay. Okay? And then I'll send them a receipt. Then down here you have a settings. That's where you can go and you can click on the sales tax rate where you can change it. You can go straight to the back office if you need to get to the back office, which is the website of LuLaRoe, the actual Audrey website, and then just some other different, generic things. But I mean, that's really it. And then you also have the tab orders. And the orders tab just shows you all the things that have been sold, just like you would see on your back office. So that's the Audrey app. There's not a lot of functionality in the app. It's just for convenience of checking people out. You're going to spend most of your time on the website, mylularoe.com. Any questions on the app? Any questions on the app? I hope this is helpful for you. Remember, you can just right-click the arrow if you don't need all this information. Any questions? We good? One of the things I want to say before I forget, so we've gone over the things you need to order. The second you get your Audrey up and running and you are an official consultant, you get off the phone with them and you say, okay, thank you so much. Your shipment is on its way. Audrey is ready for you. You can order more leggings if you want or whatever you want to do. Put the phone down, go into Audrey, order whatever you need, but you need to run a sale through Audrey. Even it's for $1. I usually tell my girls, do it for $1 because it's going to take at least 2 weeks for that first deposit to drop into your account. So you don't want to be waiting for 2 weeks after your first pop-up when you want to order new inventory to get your first payment into Audrey or from Audrey. So as soon as you onboard, you need to go and just do $1, sell something for $1. Just do shipping, make it $1, pay a little sales tax, but that will have a deposit going towards your card, so you don't have to wait 2 weeks for it to drop. So make sure you do that as soon as you onboard. So after you've gotten all these things in place, go ahead and start working your 72-hour game plan. Some of the questions that I've been getting is, what did you do at the beginning? Let me go to Megan's questions, make sure I get those. Or did she text them to me? Hold on, I think she messaged them to me. Okay. So one of the questions that Megan had, and we're going to go ahead and talk about this now, LuLaRoe may be something that all of your friends know about. And if they do, that's wonderful because you're not going to have to educate them about the product. If LuLaRoe is still new, I mean, y'all, we're at 22,000 consultants. that's really not that many women in the world that have that. I mean, 22,000 is not a lot when you think about how many women are truly in the world. Think about when you go out to Target and you're walking around, how much LuLaRoe do you really see? It's not taken over the clothing industry yet. And so we want to be one of those big name brands where people know and recognize it when they see it. And so don't feel like if all of your friends either sell or either buy LuLaRoe, that's already a customer base that you have already at your fingertips. So make sure you utilize that, and ask your friends. I would love to send you a free pair of leggings if you will just add all of your friends to my page that love LuLaRoe too. It's okay to ask your friends for help, especially if there's someone that already liked the brand and they're your friends and they should be supporting you. At the beginning when I started with my business page first, and I remember I was so excited when I hit 100 likes on my page. I remember sitting in Alabama looking at my husband and being like, I got 100 likes on my page. And even now I'm still trying to grow my online VIP shopping group. And, when I hit 1,000, I was really excited. And when I hit 1,500, I was really excited. And now my goal is to hit 2,000. I think you're always going to be trying to grow your group and to grow your business in that way. But just remember, it has to start from somewhere. And generally the way that we all build everything that we have in this business is by doing the pop-ups, contacting people, opening your mouth, not being scared or feeling intimidated or feeling like you're being pushy. If someone says no, that's okay. Move on. Next, please, because there's going to be someone. How do you do the dollar sale you mentioned? Carrie, you just go through, once you get connected into Audrey, you go through make sale. Let me go into... Carrie, I'm going to come right here. I'm going to show you. Right here, Carrie, this is the Audrey. You go to My Sales, New Sale, and I would just do shipping because, it really doesn't matter what you do. Let's just do this. I only want it to be $1, so I'm going to discount it all the way. So I have a balance of 109. Then I would just run a credit card. You want it to be a credit card because it has to be a deposit into your account. So pay with a credit card, put your own information here, and then place order, and that will get your deposit headed your way. So you don't have to wait those 2 weeks. So you're just going to run a sale through Audrey like if someone were buying something from you. I was talking about growing your page. So and just really not being scared to share it with everyone that you know. Share it with, send out an email. Send out an email to everyone on your email list and explain to them what you're doing. When I started, I basically didn't really explain that LuLaRoe is even a direct sales company. I really started with that I am starting my own traveling pop-up boutique, is what I called it. And I sent out saying I have all these fun clothes coming to me. There's no sales pitch. There's no presentation. I just come in, I bring in my clothes, and you shop. And the hostess gets free stuff. And so I never made it about being like a direct salesy kind of thing. I just basically made it like I was a traveling boutique, and I wanted to bring my clothes to share with them. So especially if they're not familiar with LuLaRoe, approach it that way. You're a distributor for LuLaRoe. You represent LuLaRoe and you sell their clothing brand, but this is your business. And so you own your own business and act accordingly. So as far as reaching out, Megan had the question about how did I book pop-ups? Did I ever straight out ask my friends to host, or people just come to me? It was a little bit of both. Like I said, I sent out an email to all the teachers that I knew in Huntsville and just basically asked them who would be willing to host a pop-up for me. And then I had people contact me back that way. I had some people that just kind of watched what I was doing on social media and saw me posting things like of me and me pictures of me in the clothes, or posting, a shipment that I got in, and just kind of enticing people. And slowly, as people just watched and understood what the clothes were and got to see more of what I was carrying, they naturally came and asked, well, hey, can I come over and see your clothes? Or do you think that you could come to my house and do a pop-up? Do you have anything on your calendar? I had people contacting me that way as well. So both ways, I think you have to work both ends of that 72-hour game plan. Some people, like I did on the 72-hour game plan, some people are just going to come to you, but you're also going to have to go out and find those pop-ups and parties as well. People that don't know what LuLaRoe is, it's just about educating them and just teaching them what the clothing is and explaining them what it is. But honestly, I think that's the best part about selling LuLaRoe still, is that there's still such a large population of women that have no idea what it is. And so if you are in an area where there's still not even in Nashville, I will go to vendor events and people walk by my booth and they have no idea what LuLaRoe is. And they're like, I don't know what this is. What is this? And I love getting to tell people, our story and about how we, get to do home pop-ups and how my inventory changes every week and how, if you fall in love with a shirt, you can get it in 50 different prints. And so just educating your customer base and your friends and family and just letting them watch you, they will naturally be interested because they're going to see a print that they love and it's just going to happen. Can we ship to Canada? No, we cannot ship to Canada. We have a few consultants in Canada that work we have one consultant called Christy Tidmarsh that has a team of consultants in Canada that everything goes in and out of Canada through Christy Tidmarsh. You can send a gift to Canada, like say you have a cousin that lives in Canada and you want to send them a pair of leggings, that is fine, but we are not supposed to be selling to customers outside the United States unless it's an APO, unless it's going to a military base. They should not be shopping from you online, and you should not be shipping it out of the country. Carrie, yes, then add it back to your inventory. You can do that. But that's why I would tell you to just do the shipping, because then you don't have to worry about the inventory part for your shipping. Things that I would just want to remind you about as you start trying to build your calendar at the beginning, to reach out to everyone you know. Sit down, make that list of people and those friends. Make sure you're wearing the clothes everywhere you go. Make sure that you are wearing the clothes every day and that you always have your business cards in hand. At the beginning, if people aren't willing to host pop-ups with you, make sure that you are offering shopping opportunities for them, whether it be in your home or whether it be online. The thing that I love about LuLaRoe is that I don't have to have pop-ups on my calendar for me to sell LuLaRoe. In the month of July, I didn't do a ton of home pop-ups just because with convention and it being really hot in the South. And, July was just one of those months where I kind of just had a lot of people in the queue. I needed to focus more on my team than I needed to be out doing pop-ups. I did several, but I didn't do as many as I normally would do. But what I did is I had home pop-ups here at my house. I've had one. I'll have two here in this month. And then I have my online group that I'm posting to every 2 times this month. So that's the thing I love about LuLaRoe. If you can't get people to let you come into their house to do a pop-up, you do one in your own house and invite everyone to come. Say, open house at my house, come shop. Because the thing about it is people want to buy your clothes. They may just not want to have you in their home just because they may not have time to clean, or they may feel like they can't get enough people there for it to be worth their time. Offer for people to do pop-ups at your house. That's something that I do, is if they can't get enough people at their house, I'll be happy for them to host it here at my home, and I'll open it to my customers. There's so many different things. There's not a really big rule book as far as what you need to do. So if you're feeling like you cannot get things on the books, make it happen on your own. Host pop-ups at your house. Do your own online thing. Do a Facebook Live. You work your business and just keep trying. And every time that you post something online for sale, every time you check someone out, every time you have a pop-up at your own house, an open house at your house, you offer people, hey, at checkout, hey, would you like to save $5 tonight by putting your own pop-up on my calendar? I say that at every person that checks out with me at a person pop-up, whether it's at my house or at someone else's. If you're checking out someone and you say, if you're at Kohl's and they say, would you like to save 15% today by signing up for a Kohl's credit card? You don't care that they ask that. You just say, no, thank you, or I've already got one, or whatever. If someone's checking out and you say, would you like to save $5 tonight by booking your own pop-up? Either they say no, say, great, thank you so much. Or they say, I'm not sure. Well, say, I send out my calendar every month. If you change your mind, just let me know. You'll be able to pick a date that way. Or they say, yes, say, great, let's get you on the books. If you make it part of your routine of checking someone out, it will, one, feel less awkward, and two, if they hear you asking everyone, they're not going to think that you're being sales pitchy because you're asking everyone. It's a part of your checkout process. So don't be scared to ask everyone that you check out if they would like to host a pop-up. You won't ever know unless you ask. And some people may even be thinking, I think I want to do this, but they may have the personality that you have to ask them if they want to host a pop-up. That's really all I have for tonight. These are just the basics of things that you need to have set in place. I wanted to make sure all of my new girls know how to use Audrey. You know the materials that you need. Make sure you look on that getting started list that Holly made that is listed in Lula Stars. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to do another, not tomorrow and not until after convention. But the next one we'll talk about PicMonkey. For those of you that need to figure that out, we'll talk about a little bit about bookkeeping of how I figure out my profits and totals after a party. But this is the question answer time. So do you have any questions for me? Any questions for me about things that you need to know? And if you're coming on late, I see some of us are coming on a little bit late. Remember, go back to the video. If you need to fast forward, just do the right arrow, and you can get to the parts that you need to know, because I jibber jabber quite a bit. I'm a good chit chatter. Any questions? Any questions? All right. So if you are watching this later, write your questions down as you watch the video, as you go through Audrey, as I explain all the different things. Write your questions down and just message them to me, and we can go over those questions individually. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for sitting and listening to me for almost an hour and a half. I know it's a lot of information, but it's good information, and it's stuff that you definitely need to know. So, yeah, I'm here if you need me. I hope this was helpful, and I'm so excited that you are joining our team. And let me just tell you, it is amazing. If you stick with it, and you, there will be times that you feel like, oh my gosh, I can't get anybody on the phone, or oh my gosh, I have all these leggings, what am I going to do? But I just promise you, and I can start crying, I promise you, if you just stick with it and stay positive and keep working your business every single day, you are going to be successful. There is nothing, there's never been a time in this business where I have not been able to just kind of pick myself back up and just keep at it. Just keep going. Don't give up. You're so welcome, ladies. Y'all are going to do amazing. I'm so excited. And like I said, if y'all need anything, I'm here. And y'all have a great rest of the evening. We'll have a webinar tomorrow night about online sales, the basics about starting your online groups, about building those online groups. We're not going to talk a lot about the nitty-gritty about shipping and stuff tomorrow night. That's going to be part 2. So tomorrow night will be about how to build your online group and how to focus on creating that community, because you need that first. You need customers before you can start selling online. So y'all have a great evening. Let me know if you need anything. I love you all, and we'll talk soon. Bye.